Alright, this video is going to show you how to do the lampshade, focusing mainly on Loft, using that Loft tool. So to start this off, I'm going to go ahead and create a sketch, just like I always would. And for this assignment, I'm actually going to be using the top plane here. The reason I'm going to do that is it's going to make it so I don't have to change the orientation later on. So when I click on the top plane, I'm going to go ahead and loft up, so when I have a front view it's going to look nice and clean. For this activity, my other suggestion is to work off the origin as your center point of whatever it is that you're doing. You're going to see why that's actually going to be really useful later on. So the base of my lampshade, I'm going to make a rectangle. For my rectangle, I'm going to use center point rectangle. And the reason behind that is I can center it on my origin. I'm going to go ahead and type in some dimensions here. Let's do 8 by 6. Alright, and with that 8 by 6, I can now finish it, so I have my rectangle that is located right over here. Okay. Now what I need to do, I need to offset my plane in order to loft up to something, right? So if I'm looking at this, I have my base, but now I have to loft up to another point up here. And so in order to do that, I have to have an offset plane. So I'm going to go to construct and do an offset plane. I'm going to do that right off of my top plane as well. And that distance is going to end up being the height of my, the actual lampshade. So here I go, I'm going to go up to 10. I'm keeping within my range. And then I'm going to sketch on that new plane that I just created. Now the nice thing is, because I centered it over the origin, I know this is the center point of the base, so I can now center the top so it doesn't shoot off to the side at all. So let's say I do a circle and move that out. Let's just make that 3, so why not? Okay, when I finish my sketch, I now have a circle that's floating 10 inches above my rectangle down here. So the Loft tool is found under Create. I'm going to go over to where it says Loft, so you can see that it's going to transition between 2 or more sketch profiles. So I'm going to say I want to loft my rectangle, and then I'm going to go click on my circle, and it's going to loft that all the way up. I'm going to hit OK. Now this is not a good lampshade because it's a solid shape, so I want to shell out everything in the inside. So I'm going to use my shell tool, which we talked about before. I'm going to shell out the bottom, but I also need to shell out this top part, otherwise it's going to leave this as a solid. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the top. Let's do the thickness of my walls of 0.1, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. So now I have a lampshade that's very basic. We have over here, you can see from the bottom that it's shelled out, but there's nothing on the inside here. So if you have extra time, you can add in the stuff that goes ahead and connects to the rest of the lamp if you want. One of the other things was text, and so just like our last activity, we can do an offset plane from the front now. Okay, so notice right in the middle here is my offset plane. I'm going to go ahead and just drag that out so it's on the outside over here. Go ahead and hit OK. I can now sketch on the outside of this object. So once again, I'll just do some text. You can do whatever you want. You can do images, text, other shapes. So here is going to be my text. Make that a little bit bigger since the lampshade is really big. And then I'm going to hit OK. Now that I have that finished, notice my text is not on the lamp, so what I'm going to want to do is I want to emboss my text onto the face, and now I have that text that's embossed onto the lampshade itself, and then I can hit OK. And so that's a way to add text or images, so it's going to follow that right up the edge of the lampshade. So for what you guys are going to do is try to make this creative, make unique shapes. You don't need to do a rectangle and a circle, but the idea of Loft is that you're using different shapes where it's going to go ahead and loft from the 2 shapes and kind of make that contorted shape there and make that extrusion for you.